All right. Hey everybody, welcome back. Camera's over there, but we're almost done with this show. That's the best part about this week's episode is that we're one episode closer to the end. All right, so the intro, the intro of this show is just Bruce going, whatever. They're like connecting the pieces with all the big bads. And it's at one point, Bruce says, what are you going to do as a Hulk? And it's just her, I kid thee not, dancing and drinking and showing off her at the wedding, showing off. There's one small clip of her helping her dad, but come on. Intelligentsia stuff. You have this little spat with the human frog or whatever his name is, and his suit malfunctions. So he is trying to get Jin to help her sue her suit maker, which was the one that gave him that suit. His boss, or Jin's boss, says do it because his dad is giving us money. She goes to the suit maker to try to quell this fire. And the suit maker's like, I don't make malfunctions and you're not getting a suit. Bye. Side note, I like the suit guy because he just like gives Jin crap, and he just like doesn't care. Like, I don't know, most of the men in this show have been idiots, but like this guy just like, insults her, doesn't even care, unapologetic. What does he call her? He says bye. Or he calls her a clown at one point. See you in court. Goodbye, tragedy. Anyway, so they go to court, and so you have the frog and She-Hulk, and you have the suit guy, and who's going to represent him? And I did not think they would get into this so early. Like, in the series, I thought they were going to save Daredevil at the very last episode, but he comes in, and he comes in early into the show. So he comes in, he starts like destroying Jin's case. Jin calls him I think an a-hole. Yep. So back and forth, he wins. How does he win? Because the frog guy used jet fuel in his shoes when he should not have. So the court, all right, this is where I start to hate it. So trial's over, whatever. Jin and Matt Murdock, Daredevil, are in a bar. Matt sends her a drink and they talk. So I guess it's not a secret. He knows that she is She-Hulk. But they start, talking, and I guess there's some connection here. So I don't know what about Jin. Like, I don't know, was it just a drink because I just obliterated your case, I feel sorry for you. Here they are right here. But I'm like, what do you see in her? Because there starts to be something. But he gives her a little pep talk, like maybe Jin can help people in court, and She-Hulk can help people outside of court. I saw this funny comment, and I can't help but say it. Like, Jin didn't want to be a superhero until an attractive guy told her to. Her cousin? No. The general state of society? No. Bad guys mugging her? No. Oh, this guy I'm attracted to doesn't know he's Daredevil yet. Told me to. So anyway, they both get a call. It's an urgent call. He has to leave. She gets a call too. Eventually, I don't know when she gets the phone call. Oh, well, he gets a call. He has to leave. She gets a text from the creepy syringe guy. No, it's creepy, like you're a specimen guy, to meet up. And I thought it was going to be some story development, but all it is him showing off that he auctioned $1 million for a Wakandan spear. And he hands her a bottle of wine and he says, let's not pretend there's nothing here. She gets mad and leaves. What? So this guy actually pops his head up at the very end, but like, what are you like? Are you trying to set up that this guy's a villain? Because all we've seen is that he's just been around sometimes. Like he was on the date, showed back up in court to testify. Or like he was on the date, he shows up in her office for some reason. Like he's a client, and then he shows up in court to testify for her. And then he's showing up again here. But aside from the you're a specimen thing, if he hadn't said that up until this episode, you would have no idea why does he keep showing up? So Jen goes back home. The frog guy calls her saying that he's being attacked. So she goes to help. Dressed as She-Hulk. I wonder if okay, maybe it's because Daredevil gave her the pep talk, but like she shows up as She-Hulk instead of just calling the cops. So the frog guy's driving. She stops the car because somebody's on top, and it turns out to be Daredevil. So the frog guy gets away. They fight a little bit. Now, I really need to see the Daredevil show because he holds up pretty well. And I don't... So Jen, I guess, is just kind of using whatever moves she learned from Bruce. But anyway, so Daredevil and she have a pretty decent fight. And Daredevil can hold his own against the Hulk. She bests him. She throws a car at him. So there's in a parking lot. She's like obliterating property. And so she stops him, figures out it's Matt. Matt explains that the frog guy's the bad guy because he is holding the costume designer hostage. So they're going into the warehouse or whatever. He can sense there's goons. So this is another thing. Sense there are goons. And he's like, I can hear their heartbeats. And stares at her and says, I can hear yours getting faster. She's like, duh, what the? And he's like, all right, I'm going to go in and fight. He fights pretty well. And then more guys show up, like 5. And Jen finally... He told Jen to stay back, but then she just shows up and knocks him out. I kind of saw that coming. But anyway, so she confronts... This is where I don't know if she's trying to cover her hide because the Frogman earns her company a lot of money. But Matt starts beating up the other goons while she is trying to reason with Frogman. And the frog guy jumps out the window. I guess he thought that he had fuel in his boots, but he didn't, and he just hurts himself. And she saves the suit guy, and she'll get a dress. Then she's sitting with Daredevil, and she's like, thanks for helping. And he's like, no, you're great. No, you're great. And whatever. But I don't know what Jen wants, because Matt's like, I'm only in for another day. I could take you out the next time I'm here. Jen's just like, or we can just skip all that and go back to my place. I thought the promiscuity was on the side of She-Hulk. I'm just gonna talk and say whatever I want. So I don't know what Jen's looking for, because she had a one-night stand on not Tinder. The guy left. Maybe you can say the connection grew here faster because they fought with each other, and now she knows his secret identity. They're both superheroes. Whatever. And it's like, if anyone's, again, a fan of the Daredevil show, he's leaving. So Jen says something about like, well, don't you think you should go talk to the cops? And he's saying, well, I have to keep a secret identity. He leaves Jin's place the next morning in his suit with everything on except the boots. So he also has no socks. So he's walking barefoot. There was a joke that he had a driver. So he's not from the city. So he is walking barefoot, which is another thing, holding his shoes, doing a walk of shame, dressed up as Daredevil. Where are you going? Back to your hotel? Like, it's mildly humorous that the walk of shame is happening, but he just said he doesn't want to deal with secret identity, so he doesn't ask Jin for a duffel bag, get regular clothes so he can commute back to his hotel. He's going to walk all the way back to his hotel, dressed up as Daredevil, as if the news isn't going to be like, hey, Daredevil seen in Los Angeles walking around without shoes. Why? Also, his suit looks. Everyone was excited. I don't like not being all red. He has a golden helmet, but most of it is red. I don't know why. I from the little I've seen, I liked the dark red. Dark red costume from his other show. So why does he get gold? But this walk makes no sense. Like, it's trying to be funny, but so I don't get, like, you can say, I don't know. There's this weird double standard. My problem is that there's this weird double standard. You have Jin complaining about only getting the job because he's just She-Hulk, complaining about the trials of being a woman, yada yada yada. But I don't know. It's like she's, from a relationship viewpoint, she's just not treating herself well. Like, just, it was like Tinder guy, Josh, Daredevil. I don't know. You can argue this happens in the comics. I haven't really known a Marvel character in the MCU yet that has, like, this. I don't know. It's like this is her only focus. I don't watch kind of drama show type things, so I don't know how often the deed happens or how fast. And it was also rushed. Like, you only have 9 episodes, so their connection was pretty fast. But I don't know. It's just, and then her friend comes over and it's like, "How was it?" Also nominated for, all right. So her friend comes in because she's nominated for female lawyer of the year. Why? Who knows? Like, she defended Blonsky. And she keeps making this joke like, "Oh, I feel like this should be over." So we get female lawyer of the year. She's going to the thing as She-Hulk. She's tall. And I'm wondering why she was nominated. It was like, her in the superhero division would probably weigh more versus her just as a normal lawyer. So they're about to announce the winner, but they announce all of them. So all of them equally get an award. It's like it's a participation trophy. And then you have, just like, make my ears bleed. What's her name? Mallory Book is there. And she says, what does it mean being female lawyer of the year? Twice the work, half the recognition, and constantly being asked what it's like being a female lawyer. Like, just get out of here. Like, nobody. Are we supposed to like this person? And then the crowd, like, snaps. Oh, not the crowd, just like Jen's friend and Pug, like, vomit. Whatever. But then Jen starts talking. She actually is about to say, "I want to thank my parents." Oh, let me back up. At the gala, the creepy dude and her boss are shown together. Weird. But she says, "I want to thank my parents." And then guess what? On the screen behind them, the Hulk King logo shows up. Two weirdos in masks are like, she doesn't deserve it. Why? Because they show, I kid thee not, they show her phone background of Captain America. They show her matcher profile hits. They say that also, can no one control the power to the screen? They say that our powers are stolen. You think anybody wants this power? Like Bruce said, it's a genetic situation where they can handle like gamma exposure. So I guess if it was somebody else with Bruce's blood, she would die. But so then it gets really weird. So all this stuff is happening on the screen. The main thing is that Josh took a recording of them doing the deed. And they show him setting the camera up. The angle is weird because he puts the camera down to the side of their bed and she comes in while he's doing it. It doesn't work out well. She comes in while he's setting the camera up. At the very last second, she walks in. Room fully lit. And I don't know why he's standing off to the side of the bed by her whatever shelf. And she walks in facing that direction. And they're starting with the lights on. So it's basically a sex tape out there on the internet. So I don't know. Pretty terrible. The fact that exists is pretty terrible. But then so what happens? She freaks out. I understand she's angry, but she punches the screen. It starts like tearing the place up. But the people start freaking out and leaving. I guess it's like if you have a Hulk, you would also be scared. But everyone starts evacuating. She's staring like, what have I done? I think. But then she sees someone in a like there's a group of guys there. It's a group. There's a group of guys in the room. They have black suits, black baseball caps, and masks over their faces. And she sees them. And it's like, I didn't realize it was a group, but it was like a group of guys that were together and they're like leaving. So she sees them and chases after, I guess, the last guy. I thought it was just one guy. So everybody's leaving. She's chasing them. All right. She's chasing them. So everyone's leaving out the double doors, like it's a movie theater or whatever. She's chasing them. The bad guy also is running out the door, but she busts through the wall. It's like, so here's the regular door. The guy who runs it, it's like a cartoon. The guy is running out the door, and she busts through the wall here. Like, the guy ends up running that way, but like, she busts through the wall instead of just running through the door, just causing more damage. Like, what? Use the door. All right. So that happens. And I'm like, oh, well, we're going to see who this is. So then I'm like, were these guys already here? Because some authority guys show up. I say authority because it's not the cops. They're in some weird, like, futuristic tech, like that blue glowing helmets and funny looking guns. So I'm like, who are these people? They're pointing the guns at her. But she never takes the mask off the guy. And she realizes, oh, they're pointing at me. And she just, like, did the SWAT team, like, this seriously occurred within, like, seconds. So she drops the guy, and the guy just runs away, and everybody lets her run away. Or I guess there's an FBI guy. There's like an FBI guy behind the guy with the guns, and he just looks at him, and all the guns are pointed at her. To this point, I'm just like, can any gun actually harm her? I guess finally she's like, well, I guess I should obey the law. But she just sits still, looks into the camera, and it ends. No post-credit scene. So between her punching the wall, let's back up in the time. She punches the wall. What are we at? 28. Book says, Jen, don't do it. Do what? How do you know what she's going to do? Tim punches the wall at 8:23. And she also, I guess, rips the TVs down, which makes the chairs fall over, tables fall over for some reason. And so 8:23, and the cop things are here at when? When does she pick the guy up? At 9:02. Let's do so. A little over 30 seconds. You have some authority figures out here ready to go. Maybe it was staged by the same guys. But what? 30 seconds? And everyone's already out? Maybe you could say that movie magic and time was sped up, but what? So many things to unpackage here. So she loses her cool, understandably. Nobody that's actually in charge of the event turns the screen off. Her punches, like, just punch the screen once, but she punches and does like fist down, which tears the place apart. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm a monster," but she's bad guys, sees bad guys, chases them, busts through a wall unnecessarily. Like, who are these? Who are these people? I made a point to Sam earlier that like, who's the villain? Like, I don't care the criticism of any of the MCU shows. You had a clear villain. I haven't seen Miss Marvel, probably not going to. But you had a clear villain, at least. I don't think people like Moon Knight, but you saw, what was his name? Harrow? Ethan Hawke? Wonderfully played. Like, great actor. Wonderfully played villain. And you're like, oh, yep, that guy's evil. Falcon the Winter Soldier, you had the terrorist group, even though they try to, like, redeem her at the end. But you're like, oh, yep, she's evil. You just knew. Who is the villain here? Who's the villain in this show? Because we don't know yet. We've seen, like, there has to be some connection with the creepy guy, her boss, obviously. The frog guy, maybe. But then Josh, guys in doctor outfits. But do we know who the villain is yet? Because we are running out of time. I thought Daredevil was going to help her with the villain, or would help expose who it is. But he's gone, and he's not coming back. So, who is the villain? Who's the villain? Who is the villain here? Do we know who the villain is? I keep repeating myself, but I feel like that's necessary. Because I don't know. I don't know about all these arguments about the show's a different genre. I've said this before. You can, like, it's like, what other show has portrayed itself like that? You've had shows and movies that are funny or have funny elements in them, but now the show is trying to be a whole lot of funny with about 5% of developing who the villain is, and about 10% of she-hulking. She also says She-Hulk smash at one point. But you've come to the last episode. Now we're at the last episode. We have to figure out, what are we doing? Who are we fighting against here? What's our angle? We don't know. We don't know. So I'm pretty sure Daredevil's gone. Like, bye, we'll see you in your own Disney Plus show. Really makes me want to watch the original show. But we need someone to root against. We need someone for the hero to overcome. And right now it's just like internet trolls and secret lab. And according to this episode, it's like she loses her cool, which, like, what would have happened if she just said, "It's okay, everyone, I can explain," or maybe just punch the screen once. Don't take the whole building down. I don't know, because right now it just seems like, haha, we released a sex tape on you. I'm like, is that the best these villains have? Like, they're, why are you stealing the blood? Is it to sell to the guy? To sell on the black market? Who's selling it? Who's buying it? It's like too late to introduce a new super soldier. Red Hulk. Blonsky #2. I don't know. A whole lot happened. We got like cool glimpses of Daredevil being an awesome like character, lawyer, actor, superhero. She also like makes this quip like, "Who's the one with the superpowers?" He's like, yeah. I'm like, bro, you can hear people's heartbeats in a building and count how many people there are. You don't think that's a superpower? Like, what? Like, get out of here. Anyway, so we've reached the end. Who's the bad guy? Who do we have to overcome? Remember in Star Wars when they introduced Darth Vader and he like chokes that guy out and you're like, yep, there's the bad guy. There's a theme here. Like, yep, there's the bad guy. Even Kylo Ren, like, oh, there's the bad guy. He killed a guy. We don't have that here. We have a sitcom. Yeah, but it's in the MCU. I'm like, you better get some MCU in your sitcom because the sitcom is not holding up on its own. Goodness mercy. I'm going to stop talking about this. Let me know what you think. Sam, you're welcome for watching these episodes, and you don't have to. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you next week, because I'm going to just finish it out. If they make a season 2, I'm not watching this. Bye.